One day, my life felt like a teen drama. I moved to a new school and discovered my neighbor's daughter, who was German, named Zara. She was often bullied. I couldn't stand it, so I helped her like a superhero, and we instantly became friends. After that, we went to school and had fun. Is it love? Who knows? When I was with her, life felt so good. Time flew by, and before we knew it, we were in our awkward teenage years. I became a painter while Zioxy was a hair salon apprentice. We enjoyed our free time together. I often penned poems for her, resembling a lovesick poet brimming with deep affection. That day, after finishing work, on a whim, we decided to take a stroll along the beach. Suddenly, two young guys invited us to play ball, and soon one got tired and went back to the beach to rest. One came, threw a blanket, then he sat and started acting handsy. Zioxy started shouting my name like crazy, but I was too far away to hear her cries for help. She struggled desperately, but only made it worse. In a lucky twist, she grabbed a wine opener and stabbed that guy in the throat out of desperation. That's when I realized something was really wrong, and it was serious. I raced over and saw that guy disheveled, instantly understanding what happened. I then charged at the other dude and drowned him in shallow water. At this point, Uncle Liang stood up, and I was still lost in the story, thinking he was about to say it was all just but he didn't say that. Instead, he made me come every weekend for stories, and I finally got why he paid me so well. When I got home, I gave my girlfriend the scoop. Then in my study, I pulled out a recorder and jotted down what you're hearing right now. The next day, after dinner at Mum's, I forgot insulin in the car. Mum had some while injecting. She said it was Dad's anniversary. I drove back to my hometown and laid flowers at my dad's grave, and that's when I found out Ziola had been in my study. She saw a new file on my computer desktop. It was the memoir I was helping Uncle Liang with. That night, my mum came over while I was still at my hometown, and Ziola hosted her. Ziola filled Mum in on the new story I was working on. Mum felt uneasy, but Ziola thought it was quite the tale. A week later, I returned to Uncle Liang's to hear the story about him and Zui. After that incident, we switched cities and started fresh. I toiled in construction for a decade. He sold his mum's house, and we used the money to open a small salon in the city. Things improved. Long-term couples eventually run into surprises. Zioxy got pregnant, but I wasn't ready for a kid. Problem was, back then, the law prohibited abortions, so I had to take her to a back alley clinic to take care of the unformed embryo. To make it up to her, I bought a camera, and we went on a debt repayment road trip. While passing through a little town in the south, we met a photographer. He invited us over, and we ended up drinking so much, and after a few rounds, he looked at Zioxy and said she had model potential, but she'd need to make a little sacrifice. Then he started snapping photos of her. Honestly, I was surprised Zioxy wasn't shy at all. She posed for him like a pro model. I was fuming inside, but didn't want to ruin her shot, so I stepped outside for a drink. But when I came back, that jerk was practically on top of Zioxy. I was so furious I stormed in, grabbed the wine opener off the table, and stabbed him right in the back. Uncle Liang paused to light a cigarette, saying it wasn't his fault that photographer was the real scumbag. The good news? The cops still haven't caught him after all this time. Now the case is out of the statute of limitations, but he didn't care. He's about to kick the bucket anyway. I was terrified. He was being dead serious, but I couldn't show it. I just told him our partnership was done. Leaving Uncle Liang's, I searched the news and found a photographer died at home then and there. The case still isn't solved, and that's when I realized Uncle Liang might really be a murderer. When I got home, the publisher's boss was there. Ziola said he read my horoscope story and liked it, so helped arrange the meeting. I yanked Ziola into my room, demanding to know why she shared my unfinished work without my consent. Truth is, I wanted to write. Ziola thought we weren't married yet, planning a future with kids, worried that I was stuck and couldn't see ahead. She mentioned that I looked really anxious indeed. But how could I tell her that this story could make me famous overnight? After Ziola left, she apologized to the boss for me, saying I didn't want to write anymore. After thinking for a moment, I stepped out to tell I would finish the story, but only if the advance was up to my standards. A week later, I drove to Uncle Liang's house to tell him I wanted to keep hearing his story, and he asked me, "Are you prepared to listen to the story of Suxing?" I nodded in agreement, and Uncle Liang then continued to speak. In 1973, Zioxy and I went north to a mountain town for vacation and befriended the town's teacher there. But that guy wasn't a teacher. He dared invite Zioxy for a solo outing. I followed closely, watching him drive into a side road. I followed, got out, and saw him with his arms around Zioxy. I instantly pulled out Sissel.